Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, welcome to Pymedaca, and I am Subhash Chandran. And in this video we are going to discuss about the job requirements, basis and reality and the facts which are really need to be understood in order to get a job in piping design field. So without wasting your time, let's get started. So first, let's understand how the industry works actually. So those who are entering into the piping design fields, what they simply are doing is they just go through some basics of the piping designing and they put this text in the CV and they try finding for a job and they face a hell lot of rejections actually. So the first thing what we have to understand is about the reality. The reality is, do you think that any company would take you and they would give you a training and they would work like a charity organization to pay you the salary that you are expected? So the reality is that if the candidate comes into the organization, he must be able to work individually. He must be able to support the existing workload because those who are working in the organizations are already occupied with several things actually. So new candidates are taken in order to help them. New candidates are taken in order to support their existing workload. But if you are going into the organization without the basic knowledge and which is not even presented in the CV and not able to communicate through interviews, so it's really impossible for you to clear interviews or even to make your CV selected for the interviews. So the true reality about getting the piping job, not only for piping design jobs, for any other jobs, this concept is applicable for everywhere actually. We have to be very much acute. We have to improve the knowledge. We have to have the skills in order to comfortably work in that particular field. This is what very important actually. So now let's come to the piping design requirements. See, for those who are entering into piping designing from different field or those who are just starting as a fresher actually, what we have to understand is that how you can support the organization. So let me tell you what is the actual expectation. When the candidate comes to the organization, the first thing the organization expect them to have a basic idea about the piping design. So this basic idea about piping design, how you can get it from the piping designing books which I have already referred in many of the videos actually. If required, I will show you the picture on the side and also I will share you the link in my description box so that you will be able to find what are the books that you have to read. So you have to have an overall idea about it. You don't have to become an expert in this field, but you have to have an overall idea because you have to know what you are doing. So that's one of the primary requirement. And second important thing, how to get your work started. No one would be interested to tell you have to do this, do this. You have to be aware about your work. You have to aware about the initial first step. For that, basically you should have a knowledge about the pipe fittings. Excuse me. You should have a knowledge about the pipe fittings details and the dimensional standards and the different types of flanges, gaskets and different types of pipes and from where they are taken. These primary informations are already available as a free content in the internet. You don't have to worry about it actually. So the second important thing what you have to do is that you have to aware about the pipe fittings details and their standards. So this is very important thing. And the third important thing is that you should know how to read PID. It's very simple. Let me tell you, reading PID is not too complex. Even I have made one beautiful video in my channel. You can go and check. This is one of the first video that I have made actually. So this will help you to understand how you can you should read the PID. PID reading you can find a lot of contents and you can find good cheap courses available in the Udemy. So that will help you to understand how to read the PID. PID reading is one of the very basic thing that you have to know. So what we have seen so far, you should know about the overall pipe designing, the importance and the logic behind this work for which you can go through some books which I have already referred. I will give you the link. And second, you have to aware about the pipe fittings details and these knowledge and standards from from where these dimensions are taken. And the third is you should know how to read PID. These are the primary things that you have to know. Then now comes to the very core of it actually. The core is that piping design engineers are expected to perform the pipe routing. If you say that you do not know pipe routing, you cannot name yourself as piping design engineers. So you have to improve this skill. There are various ways of improving these skills. You can talk to an experienced person and get this knowledge, or you can take any courses, or you can read these books which I am already referring. But learning routing through books are little difficult, because from my experience, let me tell you. So if you can speak to any experienced person and sit with them for a couple of hours, or you can take a course which is exclusively talks about the pipe routing courses. So this will help you to learn it very quickly. Even I have one of my favorite course in my website, which is known for pipe routing skills. A lot of candidates have taken, and it has a very good review of it. Actually, you will be able to observe all the knowledges which are required for pipe routing alone for this course. And now let's go to the fourth one. Fourth one is pipe supporting. See, being a piping design engineer, pipe routing and pipe supporting are mandatory. And I will tell you the third one. So let me just talk about the pipe supporting first. Pipe supporting is very much important, because piping design engineers are the one who decides where to place the support. If the support is wrong, then the flexibility of the piping system has entirely gone. So supporting is one of the primary skills. For this, you don't have to study the pipe stress analysis. This is a logical engineering concepts through which you place the supports actually. I agree that the complicated supports and the difficult supports are recommended by the pipe stress engineers. But however, the pipe support placement and selection is up to the piping design engineers. So you have to have this knowledge. I do have a course for this, and you can go and check my website pymedaca.com and course. You can go to the course tab, you will be able to find it. Okay. And this is also a fantastic course. All the engineering concepts are explained through in the art form with the simple graphics, so that you will be able to understand very quickly instead of text. There is no text actually. Minor text will be there, but the overall engineering concepts are explained through art forms and slides. So it's really easy to understand the concepts. Okay. Now let's come to the fifth one. The fifth one is equipment arrangements. For equipment arrangements, and I would strongly recommend the books to be read fully actually. So I will give you the link of that particular the videos that I made exclusively for the books, which will help you. So you can go the topmost 3 books which will give you the deep knowledge about this equipment arrangements basically. And moreover, I am planning to conduct a course, and which is going to be an online course and a live session one-on-one, so that I will be able to share the ideas and the concept behind this engineering, equipment arrangements, so that you will be able to understand the whole thing in a couple of hours actually. You don't have to read full books. Reading books is, I still recommend, because if you read books, you will be able to gather so many informations, not only equipment arrangement, but if you take a particular course, the course tutors will be focusing on only particular. Even if you take my course actually, I'll be focusing on that particular topic, because I don't want to deviate it. If I deviate it, I will not be able to cover all the topics. So this is one of the primary intent for the course actually. But if you read books during our free hours, you will be able to observe many things. So this is one of the recommended activity I kept on repeatedly saying in most of my videos. Reading books, it's really important to improve your career, to elevate from one level to another level in career. Though if you do not have as a continuous practice, please try to dedicate some couple of hours in a week to revise your knowledge. So that will really help you to boost your knowledge, and as well as to improve on your career progress. Okay. And now the last thing is, the 6th point is, practice the softwares. Whichever software, there are different softwares. Even I made a separate video for piping softwares actually. Let me tell you, E3D, PDS and CADWorks and AutoCAD and MicroStations. So these are generally used the softwares actually. I left out with one more, SP3D. SP3D is also a fantastic software. So whichever software that you are trained, I will not recommend you to have all the softwares, because commercially taking a course for all the softwares are not economical. So I would recommend you to go with any one 3D model and one 2D courses. So you should have this balance actually. So try to practice at least a minimum of 1 or 2 hours in software, so that you will be able to understand how the software works, and you will be able to clarify many doubts by just practicing in the software actually. because software is a place where you will actually make the real model in a virtual platform, right? So what happens is that the moment you develop the 3D model, you'll be able to understand how it works actually, how it appears. So you will be able to understand the clash interference with the structures, instruments, equipments. So this is what very important. Practicing is very much important actually. So if you don't practice, what happens is that you may not be able to remember whole things in the interview while you are asked. Practicing what gives is the strong memory. Practicing gives you an extremely strong memory. You can take a reading or you can take anything actually, but if you're continuously practicing day by day, consistently, it will give you and it will have the strong memory so that you don't have to think about it during the interview when somebody asks about some particular point in the softwares or any subject knowledge. So please remember this. So these 6 areas you have to work it out. Why I am saying is that these are the 6 areas which are generally expected in any interviews or any jobs. As long as you are able to produce your 100% in these 6 areas, it is guaranteed that you will be able to get a job. Okay, now we have understood the reality, we have seen the technical requirements. Now let's talk about how to get a job. See, to get a job, it's not an easiest task, I know that, because I also came up from the same path. So I know how strugglesome it would be in order to find a good job. Even after getting a good job and still the salary would be an issue and you want to switch over to a different company, for that additional skills are required and so I understand fully this one. But the true fact is that if you try really hard, only then you will get a job. One of the reason why I wanted to tell you this is that there are 1,000 candidates out there with all the skills trying day and night to find an opportunity. So if you think that somebody will knock your door with an offer letter and giving you a huge salary without having skills and without even trying for a job, this will work to less than 1% of people in the world. And if you are in the 1%, you will be absolutely lucky. But 99% of the people have to do hard work. And whoever are smartest, quickest, and efficient and consistent enough to do this hard work is the one who gets the job. This is a true reality. We have to do that. Otherwise, there will not be any possibility to get a job. Because nowadays all the jobs are posted in online portals. And it also comes through newspapers and agencies. But these access are available to everyone. The moment you see an opportunity, 100 CV goes in. So what you have to do? First of all, your searching needs to be that quick. You have to keep on searching every day. And second important thing, your CV. Focus on your CV. I have received a lot of CVs and receiving a lot of CVs from many candidates. What I am seeing in the CV is that they are trying for a piping designing job. But before even, while trying for a piping designing engineering job, you have to have a CV which is appropriate for this role. By putting some other experience, by putting a different skills in the CV will not help you. So you have to put a relevant CV, relevant skills in the CV. And moreover, if you are a beginner, you have to write the CV in such a way that you are trying to find the job and you have prepared for these skills. What I observed from many of the CVs that the candidates are already mentioning that they are proficient enough to work in that particular skill. No, that should not be the top, your text actually. Say for an example, let's take piping layout. If you are trying to mention that you are good at piping layout, you have to mention in this way that worked on piping layout for these many months or these many hours and having really sound knowledge in order to produce routings and place supports in order to finalize a piping layouts. So you have to put it in this way that you are prepared to work. When the interviewer goes through your CV, he'll be able to see the number of the total experience of your work actually. So if you only have 1 or 2 months and putting that you have experienced in plot plan, piping layout, an isometric 3D model, this is not a workable option. This is not how it works. To learn 3D model alone, it will take nearly 2 to 3 years. in a way that you can call yourself as a professional 3D designer. And to learn piping layout, it will take another 2 to 3 years. Everybody knows in the world actually. So you have to put in such a way that preparation of piping layout, preparation of piping isometrics, preparation of MTO like BOM or MTO, and preparation of data sheets, you can put in such a way that you are prepared to work. And also notifying the CV that you are a beginner and you have learned some course and you have read many books and you have understood the concept, theoretical concept, and you are willing to contribute your knowledge to the industries where you get an opportunity. And don't ever mention that you are looking for a company where you can improve your knowledge, where you can grow from one point to another point. The organizations are not working in that basis. So I would strongly recommend you to become little more humble in your CV and understand yourself and reflect your true reality. Yes, there must be some exaggerations we have to do, but it should not be in other way that you having no capability, you can mention that capability. You have to have a capability in order to get selected, because the moment when somebody goes through it will be easily understandable. So this is what I'm trying at. This is the true reality. So CV making is one of the important area. Okay, don't forget about it. So job finding and CV making and interview preparation. Interview preparation means how you should present in the interview. I've already made some video about this interview preparation. I will also give you that link in the description box. You will be able to find how you have to prepare yourself. So let me tell you some couple of advices actually quickly, because this will help you to understand. Especially in an interview, you have to speak less. Most of the time what happens, you speak more, and from where you have spoken, some words will be taken for the further questions, and when you are asked about that particular thing, you will come up say that I do not know about it. So as long as you limit your words and speak less, this will really help you. You have to have a composure in such a way that you are observing the interviewers and you are listening to them. This is the primary important. And second thing is that try to understand the question in a way that is asked. Before answering the question, do not jump and answer. Understand the question. If you know the answer, straight away say this is the answer. And if you do not know the answer, don't try to do some by just managing the situations, because if you do not know, it is do not know. Everybody knows that you do not know it. Please immediately accept, no sir, I have not experienced this one till now because I am a beginner, I am just entering the field. I have read the concepts, I am really interested to learn further. I have prepared myself in such a way that I have a good skill in 3D softwares, and I have gone through many layouts and isometrics, and I try to understand as much as possible. I still know that there are many things that I have to learn. Likewise, you have to present yourself. And third important thing is that do not argue with the interviewers. If you try to argue, then it will not give you the pleasant atmosphere in the interview. So most of the time, those who are arguing are considered to be people those who don't accept their mistakes. So please don't do this mistake. So these are the simple things. So you have to follow everything. If you ask me, tell me one thing that I follow so that I'll get a job. No. As I told you, there are thousands, there are hundreds, and there are lakhs of candidates who has more skills than you are trying out there 24/7, so that you will whatever opportunity comes, that will go to them first. So in order to beat them, in order to overtake them, you have to prepare in such a way that you are fully meeting all these requirements, and try to find a job as much as possible. Try to reach to the information as much as possible through every means of platform, like it could be through websites or through WhatsApp groups or agencies, through newspapers. Try to reach as fast as possible. At the same time, please make sure that you are equipped and your knowledge and you have a very good CV in place, and you have prepared yourself in order to present well in interviews. So these are the things which are required in order to get a job in piping design career. I believe that this video will really help you to understand what is the true reality. I will meet you in another fantastic video. Until then, bye from Subhash Chandra.